We're nearly into November. What are we? 29th of October today. This weather is just frustrating. It just doesn't dry. It's not particularly wet, it just doesn't dry. See, yesterday a neighbour, they had a go and didn't end well. They were using trail drill. Yeah, didn't go well. You know, see, they stopped. It's falling from the sky again now. It's meant to be our dry week, you know, it's meant to stay dry this week and next week, trying to be patient. Anyway, what we're going to do is just calibrate the drill. We're not going to go today because yesterday was a bit damp and gloomy, so we're just going to get the drill calibrated. So the moment it's ready, we're going. You know, we haven't got to do anything special. We just literally drop the drill in the ground and get going. So I will show you how we calibrate it, and while we got a bit of time, but when we get out in the field, you will probably not see so many details, as we will just be trying to get as much as we can done as quickly as possible. But it does need to be right as well. It's still just tacky underneath, so we just got to bide our time a little bit. Some of the fields are better that we want to go on to. Anyway, let's get the drill out. We'll put a bag of seed in, Costello going in, and then we're going to use some self-save seed for everything else. So our biggest problem at the moment is the fact that we prepped a seed bed, and then all that rain came, and it was literally the worst thing you could have done. It just holds it wet. If you know, it just hasn't dried any, but you know, it's just so frustrating at the moment. I actually thought this year was going to be the year we drill it all perfect. It had a perfect winter, but it's not looking like that. It's going to be tricky even when we get going. You know, there's going to be wet holes to go around, there's going to be bits to miss, and it's just going to be frustrating, you know. But it is what it is. We can't change it. We haven't got thousands of acres to plant. We've only got you know, a few hundred, 400 acres I think max, something like that, maybe 500 acres. It's not a massive area. Anyway, drill box is on, ready to go. We're not going to be drilling tram lines because farmer has already gone out and sprayed some of the fields, and he says we don't want to leave ourselves 2 sets of tram lines because the fields are tender. You see, he's already left a dent in the field where he's been, so we're not going to leave any holes. Last year what happened, you see, we drilled tram lines and then the farmer came through and it had gone a bit damp afterwards. He was trying to get pre-emergence on, and then he'd left another set of tram lines where he sprayed again. It's just a nightmare. So we're just going to plant the field fully drilled, which is easier for me. We can get around it a lot quicker. Anyway, we've got to get some seed in the hopper. So we're taking our markers off. We were going to use them, you know, while it was dry, we were going to use them, so farmer knew where to drive. But because it's wet or wetter, they're not going to make, you know, even if we had our tram lines on, they're not going to make the difference. You're still not going to be able to see. Just make sure our little flap here is shut, otherwise the seed comes straight in and straight out. It's all cleaned out, ready to go. You don't just need a dry week to put it in, you want a dry week afterwards to get the seed chitted and growing. We're ever so scared, you know, if it comes really wet again, it will flood out and, oh, I don't know, it's a job. It has stayed wet here for now a month. This is our first opportunity of even thinking about it. Get these off, drop the pressure, turn the handle, take the pipes off. Really looking forward to drilling this time. Just because the first season's drilling was the best one. That was the driest, and that had a, you know, it was a good crop. But I didn't really know what I was doing. But it wasn't terrible either. But when you finally get the hang of it and you know what you're doing, and anyway, this drill is a good wet weather drill. You know, it's a wet purpose drill, but it still needs to be adequate It still needs to be adequate. I'm just going to turn off my hydraulics, that saves me turning the tap. This is Costello, and this is what we will be planting first. And we're just only going to put one bag in, because if the worst happens, we've got some bags and we can get it out the drill and rebag it. But we're just trying to save any time we can, just get it calibrated. But it's good for you guys, you get to see how I do it. I love this drill, I love the tractor. I think they're made for each other, these two. You know, could we go to a 6 meter drill? Yes, we could, same drill, but then you've got to carry a front weight, and then I think you lose the whole keeping everything light, the light footprint. This tractor and this drill just go hand in hand. There we go. Handbrake goes on. Vehicle's in neutral. Me and Farmer have been watching this channel called PX Farms. Oh god, they've got a hell of a setup. We really enjoy watching that. Those guys have got some acres to do, and even they're finding it difficult. And they've got all sorts of drills and setups, and they got a seed hopper. That's, you know, just a bit safer than these bags. All you're relying on is that not breaking. Anyway, should have gloves on. We will put another bag in before we go drilling, but we're just calibrating today. I don't know what the seed dressing is. Signal. Right, so I should have gloves on for this, and I will go and get gloves. And this will be a soil, you know, soil bred diseases. It's not going to kill me. I'm not going to eat my lunch after this. I'll wash my hands after. Signal is an insecticide, so after going in after oats, you can get fruit fly after oats. So Farmer planted it last time. It seemed to work pretty nice. We didn't have a problem with it. Got a mask for when I'm loading seed. I've got a set of gloves down here, a bit of rag. I always take this with me because we're away from farm most of the time. So a spare leg, that gives me everything I want on a leg. You know, if I've got everything there that I could want if I need to replace something. That is for our drill box. That is if I need to join a pipe. Set of spanners, obviously. A little bit of armour. That's to check my drill depth. Got a spring set up there and a fork. A couple of colties just in case any get worn. A couple of feet in case any split. That's me. Anyway, I got a new bucket, purple this time. So we've got to weigh the bucket first. Linda bought me these scales, they're lovely. Little uni drill. Unimore. That is our handle for our metering. Just some odds and sods in there. Every time we move on to a new seed, we have to recalibrate to the number we want. This time we are looking for, because we're late now, the plants aren't going to till it as much, so to make up for that we've drilled a little bit thicker than we normally would. So that's the reason for that. So we're looking for 250 kilograms per hectare, and our bucket weight is 675, 0.675. So I have to take that off the total every time. So under here, bucket goes under. I hope you guys can see. 675. Just hang that there somewhere. Ooh, somewhere there. This little handle, that puts her into metering mode, and because there's nothing been in the drill yet, I always just start with running through a little bit so the metering system's full up. I'll tip that back in. That goes back in the drill. Because we're a 4.8 meter drill, we can do it by hectare, but we've got to do 86 turns of the wheel. Or we can do it by acre and then times it up from there. It's always pretty accurate like that. If you're doing grass seed, we always do it by the acre and then we'll do it by the hectare just to be double sure. So we just turn it 35 times now and see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 34, 35. Give her a little pat down. Oh, everything's tight in here. Give her a little pat, get everything out. That looks like it's either going to be too heavy. Christ. I think we're going to be on the heavy side there. Let's have a little look. Turn on our scales. Look on our hook. Hope and pray it don't come off. Right, so then we do our little calculation here. 11.55. We minus our bucket weight. 0.6. What was it? 675. We times that by 10, and then we times that by 2.47, 268. So we're a little bit heavy at that, so we got to reduce it, but we're not far away. So then we come around to our metering handle, which is here, and we need to go back a turn. There's loads of slack in there. You see all that slack? That's not doing a thing yet. So you have to wait until it goes tight there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we try that. I'd love to tell you that this is 5 minutes later, but it's actually more like 30 minutes later. I've just been adjusting. Oh my god, getting readings all over the place, sometimes more, sometimes less, and I'd knocked this little arm to about there, and yes, needless to say, it's been giving me results, and I've only just clocked it. So there we go, we learned something new today. I'm glad we're not drilling right this second, because I would be pretty frustrated by now. Anyway, we're getting closer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 35. Right, we should be somewhere close now. And if we're not, I'm going to scream. If Farmer was watching me do this and we were drilling, he would be shouting at me. It shouldn't be that hard to adjust. Anyway, learnt something new. That's better. 1082. Here we go. 10.820 minus 0.675 times 10 times 2.47. Oh my god. Right, I don't touch anything now. I've got a 250.5 reading. I put the bucket back in, I do another test. If I get anywhere close to that, I'm a happy man. It can be within, you know, 1 or 2 kilos, I'd still be happy. That's been a right old battle getting that. Anyway, I've never had that before. I didn't realise, I thought once that handle was loose, it's loose, but it's not. So, there we go, we learnt something new today. Anyway, I don't adjust nothing now. All we do is fill the bucket up again and hope we get the same reading as last time, and if we do, then we are calibrated. But that is spot on where he wanted to be. 250 kilos per hectare times 2.47. 251.8. Happy with that. I don't think we'll change it from that. Farmer will leave that as is. To try and get that really fine, as long as we got two numbers, you know, within 2 or 3 kilos of each other, we're happy with that. You've got variation of where I stopped on the handle, you've got a little bit left in the meter, you know, so many variations, but as long as we've got 250, 251, that's, you know, there's nothing to quibble about there. We're calibrated, we're set, we're ready to go. I'm just going to clean my camera off before we make a start. I don't think we're going today, it's going to be tomorrow, but the drill's calibrated. Don't forget now what usually happens, you're rushing about, right, we're calibrated. You tip your bucket back in, you shut your lid down, you put your stuff away. What have you forgotten? You've forgotten your little calibration handle. And then when you go off down the field, you spread it all out of this spout here in a big stream. I don't want to call anybody out, but maybe Farmer did that recently. Just saying, he did spot it, but it happens and it's easy to forget. So right, anyway, I'm going to put all my stuff away, put it in the cab. We've got a full tank, we're ready to go. So tomorrow hopefully we can get going. What we got here then? Little split here. We had this tyre was mended last year. Was it this one? I think it was. Pretty sure it was this one. Anyway, they did some splits on the sidewall for us, but yeah, whenever you got big tyres on, you know, you've only got a rubber curb or whatever, so we're good to go. Anyway, we just put one more bag of seed in tomorrow morning, 2-second job. That's how we calibrate, and that was a battle. I can't believe that. I've never had that before. Right, there we go. We'll pick it up whenever we start drilling.